Hi guys, welcome to the Brainy Buzz channel. So before we get started, make sure to hit the like button, also subscribe to my channel. Is it true that once a cheater, always a cheater? So make sure to watch the full video. We've all heard the phrase, once a cheater, always a cheater. We hear it so often many people take it as truth. And while cheating is never an excusable offense, this old adage is not necessarily true. While there are serial cheaters out there, aka people who have a consistent history of cheating and aren't making the necessary changes to avoid cheating in the future, not everyone who cheats will cheat again in the future. Serial cheaters are often narcissists or people that are turned on by dishonesty. For people with these issues, cheating doesn't ever seem like that big of a deal, no matter how much emotional harm they inflict on their partners, so they are unlikely to change their behavior. And while a lot of us might consider our exes to be narcissistic, narcissism is actually a diagnosable personality disorder and not common in the grand scheme of things. Alternatively, serial cheaters have attachment issues that cause them to seek ways to break the rules in their relationships. People with attachment issues, which are often developed due to childhood traumas, may seek to establish safe relationships, then rebel from these relationships in the same way a teenager would rebel against their parents. Rebellion in this case may involve cheating on a romantic partner. Again, while attachment issues may explain why a partner has cheated in the past, this is normally not the case. All this is to say that most people that cheat are not serial cheaters, meaning that they can probably be reformed through some hard work and introspection. There are a lot of different factors that can drive someone to cheat in a relationship, whether it's the circumstances of the relationship itself or other external factors like stress, a temporary or permanent, disbelief in monogamy, personal self-esteem issues, etc., etc. Just because someone has cheated before doesn't necessarily mean that they are a cheater for life. It is possible for a couple to work through their past and even their current relationship to overcome issues of infidelity. If you are dealing with someone who has cheated in the past or a partner that has cheated over the course of your relationship, there are some things you should consider as you move forward. Humans make mistakes. It's always important to remember that humans make mistakes, and that includes your partner. There is no use in holding your partner to the standard of perfection because you will always be let down. And while infidelity is far from perfection, you should not totally write off your partner because they have cheated in the past or they cheated before in your relationship. A lot of the time, people cheat because of low self-esteem. They might feel as if they need attention from someone outside of the relationship to feel desirable or worthy. This could be because they are not getting enough attention from their partner in the relationship, or it could be because they are struggling with confidence issues. It's important to recognize that while the cheater is ultimately at fault, there are things that can drive someone to cheat. So while we are evaluating the mistakes that cheaters are making, it's also important to consider the types of mistakes that lead people to cheat. If you are in a relationship, you should be sure to encourage your partner and communicate to them that they are good enough and deserving of your love. After all, you play a role in your partner's security in the relationship. Helping to build up your partner's self-esteem and self-confidence can prevent them from acting on the need to turn outside of the relationship for validation. Creating security in the relationship has the same effect. And while it's important to recognize the role you play in the situation, it's also important not to bear all of the responsibility. Attitudes towards being in a relationship can change. Sometimes people are unfaithful because they have a relaxed attitude about the commitment level in the relationship. If someone is feeling lackluster about their relationship, they may be tempted to cheat because they're not that emotionally invested in the relationship. Some people lack the maturity to end a relationship and will instead sabotage the relationship, forcing their partner to end things by making the relationship untenable through infidelity. If your partner has cheated in the past because they were in a relationship they just weren't that into, it's not necessarily a sign that they will cheat again. If your partner is more invested in this relationship than they have been in past relationships when they were unfaithful, then there is nothing to worry about, because your partner's attitude about your relationship is different than in the past. This can hold true infidelity within your current relationship as well. Sometimes the saying, "You don't know what you have until it's gone," can also hold true. You or your partner are willing to put in the work. If you experience infidelity in your relationship, there are things you can do to recover the trust you lost. Infidelity does not have to be a deal breaker if both you and your partner are willing to put in the work. A lot of people believe that infidelity automatically signals the end of a relationship. But if you are able to re-establish trust and address why the infidelity occurred in the first place, then it is possible for your relationship to recover. Bouncing back from infidelity can take a serious commitment on behalf of both people in the relationship. Working on your relationship always takes time and energy, so when you are working to bounce back from infidelity, be prepared to commit a significant amount of work towards the cause. The cheater will have to understand what, if anything, drove them to infidelity in the first place, and address that need, insecurity, or lack of commitment in a meaningful way. This can often mean communicating their sexual and intimate needs to their partner to make sure that those needs are being met in the relationship. Differing levels of infidelity. When trying to work past infidelity in a relationship, it's important to consider that not all infidelity is the same. Up until this point, we have mostly been talking about physical or sexual infidelity, which is what normally comes to mind when we talk about cheating. But it's important to recognize that emotional infidelity exists and is often just as damaging to a relationship as sexual infidelity. Emotional infidelity occurs when a partner invests more emotional energy in someone, often a close friend, that is not in the relationship than they do in their partner. Emotional infidelity can often lead to sexual infidelity, but even if it does not, it breaks the trust in a relationship in a similar way as physically cheating on someone. People often find that recovering from emotional infidelity is more difficult than recovering from physical infidelity because the connection is stronger and more long-term. The reason for cheating goes away. We want to start off here by again reiterating that cheating is never the answer in the relationship. But like we mentioned above, there are some things that may cause insecure or even average people to cheat in a relationship. If someone is not getting the sexual desires met in a marriage or a relationship, they might turn outside of the marriage. This cheater might justify this behavior by saying something along the lines of "I'm cheating to stay in my marriage," believing that they need a sexual outlet in order to be there for their partner in other ways. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go.